Does anybody remember the other stories?
Yeah.
I do.
Wait,
December of
they can come up with.
03.
Yeah, make them give it.
Yeah, let them think.
Oh, who caused the stripes on the chipmunk?
The mom.
James.
The mother.
Love it.
No.
Where's the pickle?
His
Nobody
stress.
remembers how the chipmunk got his
Scratches it
stripes?
somehow, doesn't he?
We read that one, Dad.
Oh, that's why. So, hey, you did read it.
That was good, honey.
Okay, then in 07 we had the legend of the
Wisteria.
three trees.
You're in audience mode, honey.
Then we had the story of the wooden bowl.
No.
Dude, Nathaniel.
Johnny's socks had to do with putting the socks up there.
Oh yeah, I remember
Then the little juggler who was looking for a present for Jesus. And now we have this one.
What's it called?
So this is number 9.
Number 9.
9 times I've been doing this. And here's a picture,
For 9
and I'll read
grandkids.
what it says. The magic oysters of the Queen of the South Sea.
That's different.
This will take about an hour and a half.
Okay.
This is a folk tale from Indonesia.
Indonesia.
Great floods rushed across the river. Wind howled as buffaloes. Crops and people were swept away during a southwest monsoon. When the storm subsided, Pak Sidin and his wife gathered with what was left of their rice, cooked fish, and bananas. Every few steps, though, Pak Moore reached into his pot and took a bite for himself. First he ate a chicken wing and then a leg, some fish, and some rice. By the time they arrived to the edge of the cliffs, Pak Moore had only chicken bones and banana skins to place as an offering for the queen. Unlike Pak Moore, Pak Sidin had not eaten even one grain of rice as he went along. Dizzy with hunger, Pat Sidin placed his offering on the mat and went toward the edge of the steep cliffs rising from the spray of pounding surf. I guess what they do is they had to go down over the cliffs, and wherever there's holes in the cliffs, the birds must have had nests and they were trying to collect whatever out of the nest. Unlike Pak Moore, oh, I said that. Don't look down, Paxton and the more experienced men warned as they descended the cliffs on hanging ladders. Paxton swallowed hard and grasped the ladder so tightly his fingers bulged. Slowly he climbed down towards the sea. The ladder led to ropes. The men took hold of the ropes to swing themselves into the caves along the cliff face. Go into a cave that is close by, said one man. Perhaps you will have some luck. Paxton swung himself into the mouth of a nearby cave. He eyed the wall and floor of the damp, salty place, but saw no nests. Lying on a flat rock before him were large oysters. Up in a cave? Go into a cave. Oh. I bring home some for Muna to eat, he said to himself. She has probably given all the grain to the children and kept none for herself. Everybody's worried about somebody else in that family. You may take the oysters, said a swirling voice, which flowed around his head like the tide. Paxton were about to see who spoke. No one was there. Take them as a gift from me for your generous offering, said the voice, loud as a crashing wave. Do not let anybody see them. They are just for you and your family. A couple of oysters doesn't sound like very much, does it? Patson knew this invisible voice to be the queen of the South Sea. He trembled and gathered the oysters into his headband and belt. He fled from the cave, grabbed the rope that swung him to the ladder, and drenched with oyster spray, he climbed up the cliff wall, his heart pounding like the waves crashing on the rocks below him. Meanwhile, Paxton's wife Muna sat waiting in the tumble-down hut, overwhelmed with worry. Unable Unable to remain still any longer, she went to the ocean's edge. Great and mighty Queen of the Sea, she cried out, send my husband safely home to me. Pat Moore's wife, he's the guy that ate his offering, also went to the edge of the water. She cried out, great and mighty Queen of the Sea, please give us a fortune as great as my husband's offer was great. Uh-oh. You might get what you wish for. Pat Moore was still in a case close to the surf. Drowsy from the huge meal of roast chicken, fish, and rice he had just eaten, he lay down and fell asleep on the cave floor. He slept so soundly, he did not notice that the sky was darkening. He did not hear the fury of the swelling storm. A cold tidal wave crashed into the mouth of the cave. Pat Moore struggled against the surging water to stand up and reach the ropes. Lightning lit the cave with an eerie blue glow. A thunderous voice surrounded him, pounding him with the sound. Glutton, why'd you leave chewed bones as your offering? You deserve no pity from the Queen of the South Sea. Pat Moore splashed and stretched to reach the rope at the cave's mouth, only to be smashed back against the cave walls with each wave. I was hungry. Pity me for the sake of my wife and children. The Queen of the South Sea roared, I have heard the words of your wife. She's crying out to me at this moment. I will give her what she asked for. Go home now, or I will drag you to the depths of the ocean where the octopuses will squeeze your life's breath away.
Ow.
The rope floated to Packmore on the arm of a wave. He sputtered and grabbed it, pulled himself half drowned out of the cave and towards the ladders. As he climbed, the winds battered him. He thought, I wonder what my wife requested. Surely she must ask the Queen for good fortune. That is always her wish. Pat Moore reached the cliff top and stumbled towards home. As he approached his house, his children and wife came running toward him, crying, lightning hit our house during the storm. It is burned to the ground. Pat Moore said, I do not understand this misfortune. The Queen of the Sea told me that she would give you what you asked for. Wife, did you wish for disaster upon us? No, she wept bitterly. I wish for a fortune as great as the offering you gave. Pat Moore's cheeks flushed with humiliation at his own greed. I have brought this misfortune upon myself, he moaned. The charred skeleton of the house that stood before him looked as bare as the chewed bones he'd left for the Queen. Meanwhile, Pack Sidnan rushed home to the tumble-down hut where his wife and children awaited him. He took off his belt and handband. The oysters he had gathered fell to the ground. I found no nest, but at least you can eat these oysters, he said, opening them. To his amazement, inside each oyster was a large, round, lustrous, what?
Pearl.
Pearl, you're right. Paxton sold the pearls at the market, was able to buy land, buffaloes, and rice plants again. He soon became his farmer, as rich in wealth as he was in generosity. The end.
Yay!